I'm Stephanie Shu, and I play Ruby Yao.
I'm Zasha Mamet, and I play AJ. I don't know AJ's last name.
Spow. I don't
Spow.
think
Yeah, sure.
AJ Spow.
AJ Spow.
I'm Michael Angarano, and I play Richie.
I'm Andre Highland. I play Zach.
I'm Nahnatchka Khan, the co-showrunner, producer.
And I'm Sally Bradford McKenna, co-showrunner, producer, and director.
And director.
Oh, wait, not me, her.
Yeah. See how I looked to you to be like, what am I forgetting?
I'm directing her. Look at that.
Could you just tell us a little bit about the show without giving too much away?
It's about Ruby, our main character, played by Stephanie Shu. You meet her, and she's a 30-something-year-old woman, and she's trying to find, she's been dating for 20 years. She's trying to find the love of her life. She doesn't understand why she hasn't met that person yet.
Starts to find out that her exes are dying in the order that she slept with them in very bizarre ways. And she and her best friend go on a hunt to try and figure out why.
Ruby is love lusty. All she wants is to be the center. She wants to be the center of a rom-com. She wants to find love and she wants to find it now, but she cannot figure it out. And she can be a little bit self-centered and selfish and have some blinders that she can't quite see. But throughout the journey, she sort of is able, through crazy traumatic experiences, able to come out on the other side and hopefully be a little bit of a better friend and better person.
AJ is a crime obsessed individual who is in love with Amanda Knox. She is in a long-term relationship with her boyfriend who loves her deeply, but maybe doesn't necessarily know how to show it in the best way. And I think when we meet her, she's like a little bit stuck. And so I think this adventure is something that she really enjoys putting her focus on. And I think she cares deeply for her best friend, but is maybe a little taken advantage of by her in a way that I don't think either of them really realize. Yeah, she's just a little murder board loving weirdo.
What drew you both to the project?
Yeah, there's an Australian version from 2011 that when we heard the premise, we were instantly in love. It's a great show, and I think we stuck pretty closely to the pilot of that. And everything we loved about it, we tried to keep and even lean into more. We really have two kind of tracks going at all times. There's the rom-com and her looking for love and what's wrong with me and why can't I find the guy. And then we also have what is this crazy thing that's happening? I need to figure out why it's happening and I need to stop it because people are literally dying. So for us, it was the fun of kind of blending those two threads and those two tones.
The tone came across very clearly. Just because where we're at now, the show is able to be, a very specific version of itself, and it's darker and funnier. It's self-aware.
It has a lot of broadcast familiarity, but then it can go twisted in different places that, streaming allows now. And so the language can expand and what they can talk about, and it can be more nuanced.
What did it take for you to find the right people for this show?
We started with Stephanie. She was the first piece of the puzzle, thankfully. And then Zasha for AJ. And once we had that core female friendship at the center, we started to build out.
I think chemistry is a magical, weird, real science bubble amoeba thing. Zasha's amazing, so it's not hard to be fall in love with her, I would say. But we had a lot in common, I would say. And I think the way we work is really similar. So it really felt like off to the races. Once we started, we just got to spelunk.
Yeah. It's interesting. You get often in our industry chemistry reads with people who play romantically apart from you, but not necessarily with people who play best friends. But it is, to your point, those friendships are often way more entrenched and you've often had them longer than romantic partners. But it did feel really instantaneous. And I think it's such a gift. But it's the same kind of chemistry that you feel when you fall in love with someone romantically, just in a different package.
Just anecdotally, this was also post-strike, so I feel like it was the first thing any of us had worked on in a long time.
Yeah.
And it was such a positive, warm experience, and it was really like a trickle-down effect because Stephanie's such a perfect number one. She is such a hard worker and she's so talented and also like a genuinely nice person. It was very clear that it was important to her that everybody's experience was positive.
Knowing that you were both working with like known comedic actors, did you leave a lot of room for improv in the script, or did a lot of the comedy come out of the writer's room?
I think our actors did they're so respectful in doing the script and wanting to get it as written. But then, of course, after that, like loosen it up, play with it, add stuff. We just want it to be the best it can be. So wherever that idea comes from, there's no ego. We don't care where it's coming from, especially if we're having these comedy legends come help us out. Like we want them to bring what they can to the role.
I mean, it was written really tightly, and then we would have sort of pockets where we could improvise and try things, or sometimes like there might be a thing or two, say during a table read, then it kind of ends up like in the script adjusted that way.
So much of it was just already on the page, which was such an amazing gift. Nahnatchka and Sally and all of our writers are all just like absolute athletes in their field, and they wrote such incredible, solid scripts. And there was definitely some opportunity for improv, but occasionally we would try and change the lines ever so slightly, which they were totally fine with. And we would try it on for size and we'd be like, oh my goodness, it doesn't land as well as what they've written. You didn't really want to improv that much because what they gave you was so delicious to begin with.
On the writing front, like all of us and all the writers, like we were so excited to do this show together that we had like alt jokes too on the day.
They would send a revised version the night before with like 3 alts for certain lines.
Yeah.
Everybody was excited to keep pitching jokes. So you have the joke in the script and then you have like 3 additional jokes and then the actors are improving. So it was really just, surrounding ourselves with like the best, possible versions of the scene at all times.
Yeah, things had a tendency to feel really fresh because of those revisions that they would do. And they were always really funny. Sometimes I would find myself like having a hard time getting through the alts.
Yeah, yeah. And then that's when a lot of times that was the window you could try things as well, which was nice.
Yeah.
For anyone who maybe like Ruby is struggling to find the one, what is like the best piece of advice that you give?
Don't start killing people off.
That's look inward and don't start murdering.
That's pretty much it. Hang in there, hang in there.
Keep looking, actually don't look and let it just come to you.
Be comfortable being by yourself.
Yeah. Focus on you and others will be like, hey, I want to be part of that.
And then it'll invite the other, the rest in.
I'm a big softie, and like Stephanie, I love a rom-com. And I think, especially in today's day and age where so much is manipulated in terms of what we show to the world, I think just being honest about who you are and what you want, I do believe it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved, because I think even the heartbreak informs how you're going to fall in love next time.
Follow the love feeling, I think.
Yeah, right?
And stay away from trash.
Stay away from trash.
Know your worth. That's what I said earlier, which I'm returning to now, which is know your worth.
Know your worth.
And stay away from the trasheth.
Yeah.